Hello everyone, as you can all see the title describes, this is going to be a tutorial on creating a basic AI or follow AI in Unity using the Rain editor and a bunch of couple other different features in Unity that some of you may be familiar with, some of you may not be. I'll try and be as familiar with the material and as refreshing with the material as possible. So what I'm saying is some people might not even know how to code, but for the sake of beginners purposes, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, copy what you see, learn something. Because I mean, I'm sure we can all agree that everybody's learning. So I may know a few things, but I don't know everything about Unity. And the fact that I came across these engines, and the fact that Unity has C# implementation intrigued me, so I got into it, and so I'm gonna give you a bulk of what I know through this tutorial and try and help those who aren't up to speed to catch up to a decent extent. So you have a basic understanding of how at least how model behavior works and how it interacts with the actual objects in the game. And primarily I'm gonna start with two scripts. I wanna and then move on to drag and drop in terms of the AI with Rain. Um, Rain has coding implementation as well, and but this isn't necessary for a basic following AI. So I already have a new behavior script created with the C# title. So what you can do to start on one of those scripts is go into your project section. You want to right click, hover over create, and go to C# script. Click on it, and it should open a model behavior script. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from scratch. And basically, what this piece of code that I'm about to create entails is it's telling the AI how to function based on the laws of gravity. Not the most accentuating rigid body physics, but basic character controller physics. Have you ever heard of what a character controller does in Unity? It basically defines gravity and just moving on platforms. So generally for 3D platform games, um, I hope this will help. Of course, for even if some of you are advanced, but at least you'll get a basic following idea. For somebody who hasn't started working on the AI or an AI for the game. So let me get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type requiring component type of character controller, which basically is partially responsible for mandating the um the script to run off of the character controller that the AI body is producing. So as far as the game object goes, you need a character controller to make this work. And let's stick this above. Sorry. I'm gonna stick this above the class declaration. So next under the class head, we're going to create a couple of members. I'm gonna create a tangible character controller member so that we can, make commands and interact with the character controller and kind of give direction as far as what it's gonna do. Um, I'm gonna make a vector 3, which is I'm gonna make it a 0 vector in Unity terminology. I'm gonna have a couple of floats. And you'll probably have a better understanding of what this actually does as I move further on in the code piece. But essentially, we're basically defining the fundamentals of how the AI goes up and down, where its origin is, and things of that nature. So just follow along. Public float move speed. So yeah. Now we're gonna have a variable that gets the character controller component from the actual gaming object. So we're gonna say control get components character controller. And we're just saying that this staple or this default variable, this protected variable, is just gonna take in the character controller component from the game object. So the last method that I want to touch on is an update method, and I'm going to create a virtual update method. So type public virtual void update. And what we're going to do is we're going to call the simple move function. It's built into mono behavior. And it is a method that works with the character controller object in the game. So we're going to scale the vector 0 move value by that move speed float that we declared up here. So it's going to be move times move speed. And we're going to close that. And that's just going to ensure that it's falling correctly and that the rate at which it drops is desirable for our case. and it's also simple. And since we have these virtual void methods, for those of you who started with um, basic start and update templates, you can just go ahead and delete those. We won't be needing those since we have the virtual methods. And for those of you who don't know, virtual methods are basically like methods. They're kind of like template methods, methods that are meant to be filled in by or to give a little bit of leeway or room for different sorts of functions per class, like different to allow different functions to use them differently. I mean, to allow classes to use them differently, depending on the nuances in the classes. But for the sake of this video, just make public virtual void start and update instead of the void start and void update. And that should do it for this piece of code.